Welcome to Life Extension Live. We're so excited that you join us here in our new studio. We're hoping you enjoy the way this looks. I'm here with my co-host, Dr. Crystal.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going? Hey, I love this show today because I've been in this industry for many, many, many years, and I get confused.
Oh, no.
I have questions.
But you know, I'm happy you're being transparent about that.
There's so much.
There's so much to keep up with every day.
So much. So what we decided to do is, and matter of fact, it's the whole point of Life Extension Live, is to try to take those complex things, those questions that drive you crazy, and simplify it and offer you some solutions. So on today's show, we're going to be answering questions, your questions, by the way, about common cholesterol and blood pressure issues, weight questions, that's always big, right? Mm-hmm. The best way to store supplements, and then supplements, and that's a big one, supplements to take with or without food. So a lot to cover, right?
That's right.
So we're going to get started. We're grouping these questions into our health and nutrition section, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So question number one, and I'm throwing this out there for both of us.
Okay.
Now these questions we've gathered over the past couple weeks or so.
2-3 weeks.
2-3, right from you guys, but we're just answering them off the cuff.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
No real script. We have this, but you know.
Makes us a little nervous. So I'm just going to say the question.
Yeah.
And then we'll just go with it.
Let's just go with it.
What are the best lifestyle suggestions and nutrients to take for lowering cholesterol?
Yeah, you know, that's the most common question I think I receive. And I would have to first start with food, of course, because you know that's food first all day, every day.
Yeah.
What dietary changes can you make to bring your cholesterol down? And people don't want to hear it, Dr. Mike.
I know what you're about to say, I think.
You have to cut the red meat.
Oh, I thought you were going to start with the F word.
I know, but that's on my list in my brain.
I'll let you go. All right.
But the reality is the red meat and chicken with the skin on is giving you saturated fat. And I know it's a hot, controversial topic, but the reality is people who lower their intake of the saturated fat foods high in cholesterol, you do see a dip in that number. Yeah. So my suggestion would be, continue to have your plate full of fruit and vegetables, that 80-20 rule. Try not to make meat the center of attention on your plate.
I like that.
And
I like it that way, yeah.
Limit the intake of the red meat to maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah, I think most people can handle it, but I like the way you said it. Let's stop putting meat as the star player all the time.
Yeah.
Right? How about the veggies and the fruits and the leafy greens? Let them have their chance.
Because you know what they're giving you? Fiber!
There it is. Now, before we go to the fiber, though,
okay.
I'm going to go back just for a sec, because if you're going to talk about red meat and stuff, how does sugar play a role in all this?
Well, sugar just, number one, it's damaging blood vessels, which then in turn can increase your risk for heart disease because it's increasing the likelihood that that the blood vessels will be damaged and plaque can now infiltrate those artery walls. So sugar kind of plays a role. I see it in that regard when you're looking at overall cardiovascular risk.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So those fiber.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We talk about fiber all the time.
Because what fiber does, a diet high in fiber will kind of block some of that cholesterol from being absorbed into the body. So even if you're having your big ribeye steak, bone in or bone out, Dr. Mike?
Bone in,
ribeye steak.
It's all the flavor.
When you have the fiber from the veggies, you pair it with a hearty salad full of veggies, that fiber is going to block some of that cholesterol from being absorbed.
Because most of the fiber in the foods we eat, I mean, there's insoluble and soluble, but a lot of it's the soluble fibers, right?
Yes.
They can kind of it's almost like little vacuums, and they gather up the fat, the cholesterol, and they move them out of your GI system and not into your bloodstream, right?
Yes, and just like a hack, a kitchen hack, I grew up with this hack is anytime we had chicken, like chicken breasts, chicken thighs, chicken drumsticks, my mom made us take the skin off. I have nightmares of taking skin off chicken because I did it so much growing up.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It does make sense, but boy, that is some good stuff too, though.
I know, but
I know. So, but moderate. You know, if you're eating chicken a lot, most of the time take the skin off.
Yeah.
Maybe once in a while prepare it with the skin. You know, so we're all about trying. I'm trying my best to get my chicken skin in there. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's move on. So, well, what about nutrients though? Right off the cuff, there's things like red yeast rice have been shown to be beneficial. Pycnogenol
yes.
could have some benefit. Niacin.
A surprising one, another B vitamin, vitamin B5.
Yeah.
Pantothenic acid is beneficial. There's research where it can support cholesterol, healthy cholesterol level.
And I think those are probably the big ones, right? That most people probably take. So, dietary changes, add some of those supplements. A great way to maintain healthy cholesterol. All right, let's go on. Number 2, what are the top 3 nutrients for blood pressure? Now, I'm going to say my little spill real fast.
Okay.
Out of all the risk factors, right, for having heart disease, right? And it's not just cholesterol, it's not just weight, it's not just smoking. Those are big ones. There are several more. I don't even know what the number is now that we have 19,
Yeah,
something like
19.
that. Whatever it is. Without a doubt, in my professional opinion, high blood pressure's at the top of the list.
Well, it's the silent killer, Dr. Mike, number 1. Number 2 is damaging the blood vessels. And I'm going back to that concept because blood vessel damage, I like to look at it as step 0 in plaque formation. Because when those blood vessels are damaged, you have those micro tears. Now the cholesterol can infiltrate the arterial wall, and that's kind of that first step in plaque formation. Once it's in there, now you've got the immune system coming, trying to clear it out. They get stuck,
and it gets all messy.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. Yeah. So atherosclerosis starts with vessel injury.
Yeah.
And high blood pressure is a direct cause of that. Now, top 3 nutrients, that's tough, right? I mean, there's a lot of nutrients that can play a role here, but I think you've got to put magnesium at the top of this list.
Magnesium at the top. Potassium is a close contender for the top spot.
That's part of the DASH diet.
Right.
The dietary approach to stopping hypertension is to increase foods with magnesium, potassium.
There you are. And those are 2 nutrients that most people are deficient in.
Yeah.
When we look at big government analysis of the overall diet, what are Americans eating? We're missing the potassium for sure.
Well, you know why? Because it's in the leafy greens. And we're not eating the leafy greens.
I know.
We're eating this bone-in ribeye.
with mashed potatoes.
Yes. With butter on it. Maybe even some cheese. So I obviously, don't you start. It's basic, again, take the focus off the meat, put the focus on the veggies, and you're going to get your magnesium, potassium.
Now, I'll tell you another one, my other favorite. It's not a top contender, but it's one I always throw in is pomegranate.
Why is that I think that is a top contender.
That's a top contender on your list?
There's a lot of good studies showing that it drops, I can't remember the exact studies, but drops that top number, systolic pressure, nicely. So I think that's a great choice.
Yep, olive leaf extract is also really good.
Olive leaf, grape seeds. Those are probably pycnogenol again, which is the pine bark extract.
Whey protein.
Protein plays a big role.
Yes.
So lots of choices when it comes to supplementation for maintaining healthy blood pressure. I'm telling you, you got to do it. I think when you hit your 50s, I think everyone should be keeping a blood pressure diary. Keep track, even if it's normal now, just once a week at the same time, every Wednesday at 10 o'clock, whatever that is, check your blood pressure and write it down in a diary. And if it starts creeping up, you got to go see your doctor.
That's right.
All right, we're going on to the next question. Oh, boy, this is a this is a good one. There it is. Should you cut carbs or fat for weight loss? We could do a conference on that.
a 10-day conference.
I know for me, I know my gut answer to that.
Okay.
My gut reaction to that is cut carbs. You know, but I also know it's controversial because there are studies that also show cutting fat works, cutting carbs work. But that's just my gut reaction.
I agree with you, Dr. Mike. One, I always get hesitant when people start cutting too much fat, low fat everything. One, because we know that fats are good for your brain. Your brain
Hormones.
is about for hormone
Hormones,
production.
yeah.
And so the goal is get in the healthy fats. You know, we talked about kind of limiting some of those saturated fats, but you need the healthy fats from the nuts, from the olive oil.
Yeah, very important.
And so, yes, the carbs, I tend to suggest focusing in on carbs because that's what people are eating probably more of than they should, specifically the refined
the
carbs.
simple refined carbs, yeah. And of course, when you say cut, so let's clarify that. So when we say cut carbs, we're talking about the simple carbs.
Right.
And when we say cut fat, maybe we're just talking about the saturated fat from animal protein. You know, that doesn't necessarily you want to cut out completely good vegetable fat.
Right, and just to define those simple carbs, those are the sugars, okay? Sugar
sure,
is a simple carb. When we say refined carbs, those are the white bread, the white rice, the carbs where it's coming from that wheat flour
Yeah.
that has been refined, your cookies, your cakes, your crackers,
I'm getting hungry.
your pasta.
That's my thing. Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Pasta.
So if you kind of cut back a little bit on those, and then the ones that you do eat, make sure they are whole grains, you'll be good to go.
Yeah, okay. So there's no one cut answer for
Right.
that. It kind of depends on you, what your goals are, what you're trying. But again, my gut reaction, the simple carbs. All right. Number 4, I think now, right? I think we're on number 4.
Yes.
I've done everything to help with sleep. What could I be missing? Now, what does everything mean?
I know.
I've done. I don't. Is that melatonin is not working? Other herbs, better sleep cycle. I don't know what everything means.
It's usually where people have maybe tried some melatonin, maybe
I think
they've
that's what it is,
tried
and it didn't
just
really
some
work.
Sleep, exactly.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I think this is a great opportunity to discuss with everyone the importance of sleep hygiene. That's where I go with this.
I agree, and it's probably the one thing that people aren't doing is setting the routine, making sure you have a set bedtime, making sure
That's
that
a big one, actually. That's
you know,
big.
one to do is take the TV out of your bedroom, especially if you're tempted to have it on
Yeah.
before sleeping. You know, some other sleep hygiene, turning the air down at night. People
Be cold.
sometimes do. Yes.
Cold is good. Cold. What was that? We talked about this before. Get as cold as you can, but then put socks on your
Yeah.
feet. It's weird, right? But there's
Right.
evidence that shows that's a great way to get a good night's sleep. Here's a big one I tell people. Turn the clock around. Like, don't look at the time.
Especially if you feel like you're not falling asleep right away.
Don't look at the clock. It's just it causes anxiety.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yes, don't exercise right before bed.
Where is it? Where's the cell phones? Where's my
That's
cell
it.
phone?
We thought about it at the same time. Your devices,
where is my
Dr.
cell
Mike.
phone?
I don't.
Robson.
Devices.
Yeah.
Bringing in that blue light.
Turn it off for sure. And TV is kind of the same blue light too. That's why
Same
it's stimulating.
thing. Your
yeah.
tablets. My mom likes to play like solitaire on her tablet
Yeah.
at night. I'm like, Mom,
Well,
put it away.
Put it away. It does stimulate. All right. So again, focus on sleep hygiene. If you've tried melatonin, don't give up on it so quick. There's extended release. There's immediate acting. There's different dosing. I often find people kind of have to do a trial and error approach with melatonin. So
Yeah.
don't give up on it. It does work. It's great for circadian rhythms, not just sleep, but setting your whole cycle. Right, so don't give up on that. All right, let's go to the number 5. This is the last question under health and nutrition. All right, here we got somebody doing some bands. I like the bands.
Me too, Dr.
I like the
Mike.
resistant bands. So here is the question: do I really need to lift weights? Can I just walk? Okay, just wait.
Okay.
Yes, you can just walk. There's evidence that shows walking is great. And so if you're literally going to push this like in a corner and say, give me the simplest thing to do and I'll do it, walk. But if you add some weight training, even better.
And maybe if you walk, occasionally do a little high knees when you're walking.
You probably get all decked out when you walk. You probably have the resistant thing. You're probably one of these like walkers.
I am the walker, and I do this, and I get the storm out. Fight the fat, save the shape. And I
What
chant.
was that? Wait, stop the
chant
production.
when I walk.
Please do that again. That was awesome. Do that
Fight
again.
the fat, save the shape.
Fight the fat.
So imagine me and then my kids,
And
you're
walking
walking
down-
to the park. Hey,
Hey, it's activity. It's movement. That's the key thing.
movement.
But maintaining lean mass is so important to longevity and overall health. Try some resistant bands, even if you just do the major muscle groups.
That's
Biceps, triceps, chest, and whatever, right? Something.
right, and that's the point, Dr. Mike. It's weightlifting. It doesn't have to be like you in the gym.
Yeah, I think that's what
with
people...
the guys that they're grunting
And they have like these blocks of cement on each side.
with their gallon jugs
and I
of
walk
water.
up with my little like 5-pound thing. Woo! Yeah, that's embarrassing. So it doesn't, because I think when people say lift weights, that's the image.
Exactly.
You don't know. You can do resistant bands right in your home, all by yourself. Easy to do.
Use your body
very
weight.
safe.
Yes.
You know, it's a nice resistance throughout the whole motion. Good stuff. So, yes, you can just walk, but why not take it to the next level?
Yes.
Why not? All right, add some resistance bands. Okay, moving on. This is more about supplements now, right?
Yes.
A lot of questions about how to take things, how to store things,
When to take
to take them. So we got a bunch here. Let's go to number 1. I think we have a super for that. Yeah. Can I store my supplements in the freezer or refrigerator? See, a lot of people don't know where to put their stuff.
Right. So your fish oil, you can store those in the freezer.
Yeah, you can.
But once you take them out, this is the caveat. Once you take them out, or even if you store in the refrigerator, it's not necessary first. Let's just clear that up. But if you do store it in the freezer or the refrigerator, be mindful when you're taking them in and out, condensation can build up in that bottle because of the changing temperatures.
Yeah.
So it's not really suggested. A cool place, a
Cool, dry
place.
Yeah. I will tell you though, I don't want to get stuck just on fish oil because this wasn't what the question was. But a lot of people with burpee issues, if you freeze your fish oils, those go away.
I know.
For a lot of people.
Yeah.
So some things you can freeze, but in general, it's just stored in it. Well, here's the other problem. If you're storing things in your fridge or freezer, you forget about them. And you don't take them, and I'm talking to me. Maybe I'm the only one that has this issue.
They get pushed to the back of
Listen,
the fridge.
I tried a probiotic that had to be refrigerator. It was the suggested thing. I think 2 years later, I found it in the back of the fridge,
That's
just
what
sitting
happens.
back there. So that's, for me, compliance is so important. If you want these things to work, you have to take them every single day. And so they need to be right in front of you in your bathroom when you're brushing your teeth. That's your best place to store. Now, if you take hot showers, maybe not. Maybe get in a cooler place. I don't
Right.
know. But you want your supplements to be visible in a cool, dry place.
Yeah, I keep mine in my pantry. So whenever I go to get a snack, I see them as a reminder.
Your high cholesterol, saturated fat snack.
No, my apple chips.
Your apple chips, okay, full of sugar. All right, so that's, so again, just real quick, can I store my supplements in the freezer? Some of them maybe, but it's really not necessary.
Right.
At the end of the day. Okay, number 2, big one, because so many bottles now say take on an empty stomach. And a lot of people are like, well, what's an empty stomach?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Is it 20 minutes after I eat? Is it 30 minutes before I eat? What is considered an empty stomach? And I gotta be honest with you, I'm not sure if I have a straightforward definition of this.
Well, it's more of the 30 minutes before you eat or about 1-2 hours after your meal, after you eat.
After you. So 30 minutes before, couple hours, let's say.
Couple hours after.
Yeah. We know for most people it takes 45 minutes to an hour for food to move
Right.
through. And then you kind of want things to relax a little bit. So maybe that's where the 2 hours is coming
Yes,
from? Okay. Yeah.
And then that accounts for the meal size and everything like that.
Yeah. Thanksgiving meal, you might want to wait 6 hours.
That's true.
Something like that. I don't know. All right. Next one. Should I take my supplements with or without food? You got follow the label, number one.
Yes.
But let me give you my little spill on this.
Okay.
For the most part, it's easier just to take things with food because it's easier to remember that way. Now, there might be some exceptions like protein and amino acids. I agree with that.
That's true.
But in general, just take it with food.
Yeah, so you have to, I would say, I agree with that, Dr.
She
Mike,
doesn't agree.
but also,
I can already see the way she's setting this
I'm
up.
just adding to his comment that you also want to look at your labels.
Well, I said that. Look at the label for you.
Okay, look at okay, maybe I missed it, but look at your labels. If the label says to take with food, one question about that: does it have to be a big meal? What does it mean with food?
It doesn't. It doesn't. Right?
Right.
Yeah. If you're doing the oil, anything that's in a soft gel, those are oil-based usually, right?
Right.
A little fat. A little piece of toast with some butter on it or something. I don't know, or whatever. Maybe a piece of cheese. It does not have to be a huge meal.
Correct. So you
Yeah.
just kind of need a little something to help with that absorption.
So a lot of other questions I'm sure are out there. Please send them our way, right? Our social team is right there, ready to take them, and we can answer these in future shows,
I
right?
know.
I really like that. We have a place for you to go. It's a wellness university course, right?
Yes.
You guys know we do a wellness university course for our consumers?
Yes, that's what
There
they're
it
looking
is.
at there.
Yeah.
That's our course.
Yeah.
All about setting up your personal regimen.
Yep. And you
There's-
can see, wait, right when they get to my picture, they turn it off.
Our nutritional workshop, personalizing your healthy supplement routine, free course.
Yeah. For all that's free, lifeextension.com/yourplan. So right there, that course can help you to develop a regimen of not just supplements, but nutrition in general that's good for you.
Yes.
Good for your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. Lifeextension.com/yourplan. Dr. Crystal, thank you for joining me today, and thank you for everyone that watched. Don't forget, comment, send in more questions, and like and share the show, and go ahead and subscribe. Right? So every time we go live, you get a notification, right?
Right.
That we're going live. Again, I'm Dr. Mike. Thanks for watching.